the first thing I need you all to do is to take out your smartphones if you have one and text the following to the following number. If you have a smartphone, take it. If you have a dumb phone, just stare aimlessly at it. Or if you have a smartphone and you're a dumb person. Anyway, okay. So, okay, to the number you put in is 22333. And then you want to text the word, it's one word called Optimum Impact. OPTIMUMIMPACT.
Is it case sensitive, Michael?
No.
No. Once again, it's OPTIMUMIMPACT.
And everybody stay in your text mode. It might prompt you to go to some website or something to stay right in the text mode.
And introducing my guests, we have Sherry Yoder and Crystal Smith. They're with the organization Optimum Impact, which they started. They specialize in workplace development, and they're located at the old Aptex facility in Front Royal. And so without further ado, I'll turn it over to them.
Well, good morning, early morning. I love this. I'm an early morning riser myself, so I like to get half of my work done before 8 a.m.
And I'm not, so she gets it done before I get up.
Yeah. So, thank you guys for having us. I had the opportunity to speak with your group probably 3 or 4 years ago in a different capacity and with different colored hair, so you may or may not remember me, but I'm happy to be invited back. And so we're going to introduce ourselves first. So I am Dr. Sherry Yoder, and I am a clinical psychologist by training. But most importantly, I'm actually going to let Crystal introduce herself first, or we'll backtrack. So most importantly, this is what you need to know about me. Primarily, I'm a learner and I'm a developer. So what does that mean? That means that my gift and my passion equally are to learn and to, as part of that learning, to share that information. So it's my obligation for the information that I learn to bring it to people and share it with them, because if I'm not, I'm doing them a disservice. And I'm certainly not doing the second thing, which is primary in my life, which is developing people. And that's how I connected with Crystal, and we formed Optimum Impact, which we'll tell you about in just a second, to develop people within the context of the workplace. And this is, go ahead.
I'm Crystal Smith. By trade, I'm a high performance development coach. And my strengths are really futuristic. I'm big picture. It's very natural for me to see big picture. I'm also strategic, so I can take that big picture and I can break it down to a nice little plan. I'm the activator. When I have a plan, I can't help but act on it. I need to immediately get going. I'm also command, and we'll test this today, but typically when I talk, people listen. And
if you don't, you will.
You will. And I have to be very significant. My work has to have meaning and purpose. And together, Sherry and I came together, and you can see clearly we are very different. Our strengths are very unique, as are all of yours. And so we came together and formed Optimum Impact.
Yeah, and so Optimum Impact, it's a unique combination of training available to business teams that really doesn't exist anywhere. So it's clinical psychology and business coaching kind of married together and then brought together to develop the team and develop the people within the team as individuals so they can live happy, meaningful lives at work and at home, but also so the business owner can reap a benefit.
Okay, so at Optimum Impact, our vision is really to change the face of the business world. And how do we do that? We work with companies to create robust work teams with a research-based platform that we use that we really think is going to change the face of the business world. And why do we do that?
Whoopsie, it's going crazy.
Okay, so I'll keep going without the slide. So
Please
we really do that to increase employee engagement.
I'm not sure what's happening.
Okay.
Keep going. I'll get there. I'll catch up with you.
Okay, I want to show them some statistics, so I'll wait for the slide to show.
There we go.
Okay. Here's why we do that. If we can increase employee engagement, create happy work lives, happy home lives. Within companies, we can decrease turnover. This is on average studies of over 35 million people. We do a lot of our research, or a lot of our work is based on Gallup's research. They've worked with 35 million plus people, 70 something countries across the world, over 20 years of research. So studies say if you can increase employee engagement, you can decrease turnover by 24 to 49%. You can decrease absenteeism by 41%. Okay? You can increase profitability by 21%. You can increase productivity by 20%. And you can increase your customer loyalty by 10%. That's pretty powerful stuff, right? And it all goes back to, are your employees engaged? Do they enjoy what they do? They have the opportunity to do what they do best every day.
Yeah, and so why is that important to you and why is that relevant to you? Well, you guys are a team. You may not be a traditional workplace. You're not a for-profit agency, but you're a team. And you function exactly as any business team does. Because each one of you has strengths that are needed in the group to accomplish the vision and the mission of what you've set out to do here in Warren County and beyond. And so we're here to give you guys some ideas about how you can engage your team even more and extend your reach. So this is who you are. We went Facebook stalking.
I prefer to call it research.
And so when you improve your engagement of your members, here's what you can expect.
Increase member retention. Increase the quality of your member recruits. Increase member participation. Increase productivity, which ultimately increases profitability. Now we know that you are a not-for-profit club. We understand that. But would you agree with me that you need to be profitable to be able to do the good things that you do within your community?
Okay, so once upon a time, I was a Rotarian. I no longer am, but I still am at heart, just not formally a member of the club right now. But I know that as a Rotarian, you have core values, and I see them over here on this banner here. So quickly, before we get into our poll, I'm going to ask you guys to recite those. So if you could stand with us, please. We're just going to get your minds prepped for this poll. So of all the things we think, say, or do, first, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? And fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned? Excellent. Thank you guys very much. Okay. Has everybody had an opportunity to text Optimum Impact to 24333? All right. So make sure that you've stayed in your text window. We're going to go into a live poll right now. And what I want you to do, we want candid, honest responses. Nobody's going to know which letter you typed in. You can put your hand over your phone if you so desire. But we want honest answers, and I want you to apply the 4-way test as you answer these questions. And what we're going to talk about is how each of these questions are related directly to those outcomes that we talked about profitability and productivity. So your opinions count. So if we're ready, I'm going to go on to the first question.
After you talk about the scale.
You want to tell? Okay.
Okay, so the scale is, while this says 0 to 5, it's 1 to 5. Very simple. And to let you know, we don't know who says what. We are not collecting your phone numbers. It is all going to be web-based, and then it will be gone. You won't get a fancy text from us trying to sell our product or service. So please participate, and please give us your honest feedback.
Yeah, and it's actually A through D, but you'll see
A through D.
Oh no, internet connection lost.
Okay, well you can fix that. So here's what it looks like.
But this is how we roll with the punches.
Okay. So strongly agree is, you're right, got it, spot on, it is perfect. All the way down to strongly disagree, meaning we got a lot of work to do this area. In the middle is, I'm indifferent, it's okay. The other options are, I disagree, I agree. So from strongly disagree to...
No, if you need text before we get Rob, man, I don't know how to plug it in.
Searching.
No, Rob.
Computer 1, 2.
I can plug the cord in the wall, that's enough.
What I need is the network security key.
Yeah, you'll have to ask the.
I'm sorry, guys.
We can edit the video this morning. correct? Okay, so we really want you guys to participate. We really want your honest feedback. We really want you to play along with us. And we're going to talk a little bit through each one of these questions. I think we had 5 or 6 questions.
Yeah.
That we're going to show you some powerful ways to increase the engagement in your club as soon as we have internet.
Oh. What would you guys say, while we're waiting, what would you guys say is the strongest impediment to engagement of either new recruits for your club or existing?
A closed mind.
A closed mind? Tell us more.
If you have a preconceived idea of how a person should react, I think that hampers your creativity and outreach to new and different people. And you need a mix of people to be successful.
Yes, you do. We talked a lot about that with companies because we all have our unique strengths, right? And if you're exactly like me, one of us is unnecessary. But if we can come together, Sherry and I's partnership looks like this. I'm the big picture. I go, hey, let's go do this. And she goes, okay, let me do some research. Here's what it looks like. Let's think about it. She has this plan. And I go, okay, let me put it together. Let's go do it. We're live. Okay.
Okay, we're good now. Sorry about that, but oh my goodness.
That's the end of the show today,
This
folks.
thing is touchy. So this is interesting. We'll roll with this until we fix this. Now it's searching. Okay. So one of the questions that Gallup has researched over the last 25 years to determine, to ask employees, right, about what they think, is do I have the materials and equipment I need to do my job right? Right now, I don't have the materials and equipment I need to do my job right. So that's making it a little bit difficult for me to convey my message. But that's okay because I belong to a company that has a vision and a purpose. And we could just sit up here and talk with you without doing the live poll. I hope that we don't have to do that because the live poll is going to give you, thank you, Rob, a better understanding of exactly why your opinions matter to the bottom line of this club. Are we good? Okay, I just need to go back into slideshow mode. Okay, let's see. Gentle. I was like, I don't want control of this.
Get rid of that thing.
It's circling. Okay, here we go. All right. Okay, so here's your first question that we want you to answer in your smartphone. I know what is expected of me at Rotary. If you strongly agree, you're going to enter A into your text box. If it's agree, B, indifferent, C, disagree, D, and strongly disagree, E. So far, 100% of you strongly agree. That is awesome because
These things are so fun.
They're so fun. Yeah.
All right, this is the one that has to go out.
Oh, and you can't, it won't let you change your answer.
So very quickly, strongly is perfect. Or B is I agree, C is D is I disagree. E is I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Everybody's getting involved.
So that's good.
It is still the top 2. However, this is what Gallup says. Gallup says that if you want 100% engagement from the members on your team, you have to get all 5s, which means you have to get all strongly agrees. Because this third of you got it, but not quite, missing something. So if you're missing something, you're going to miss out as a club on the productivity of that member, right? Because if I don't know, if I'm not really 100% clear on my expectations as a member, I can't fulfill my commitment to the group. So, you want to make a recommendation based on that?
So what we would recommend is that You be very clear of what's expected of everybody of Rotary. Ask your members if they know what's expected of them. Because even within an organization, we have these job descriptions, and here's your role, and here's what we expect from you. And then you ask people, do you got the expectations clear? And they go, yep, clear. But how I perceive them might not be what you intended, right? So we recommend that you guys get together, maybe create some focus teams, welcome new people, and make sure the expectations are 100% strongly agreed, clear within your group.
Yeah, but great scores here.
Yeah.
So we're going to go on to the next one, and the question will pop up, hopefully without circling too long. All right, and so now you can vote as soon as you're ready. So here's the statement. I have the materials and equipment needed to do my job right as a Rotarian.
It's like one of those seesaws.
It's good stuff. Oh, I hear he's losing.
Right.
Everybody in?
Okay, so I wonder, just quickly, if we can have a little bit of transparency. Can you guys name off 2 or 3 things that might keep you from getting to the strongly agree? That you don't have to do your job as a Rotarian? Maybe it's money to do a project that you want to do. Maybe it's time or bodies.
Maybe it's volunteers, maybe it's social media, maybe it's documentation.
Well, ideally, I would like to have twice the size of this room so we could double the size of our club. But we have some physical plant realities that we have to adjust to, and that we've been adjusting to since the inception of our club. That had, quite frankly, limited us in our ability to grow.
So
And I think we're an awesome club. I'm not saying that because they're here. I think they know me on Facebook. And I think we're a wonderful club.
Okay. Yeah, so what we would encourage you guys to do is to identify what those resources are that you feel like you need to have but you don't have. Because again, that's impacting your ability to fulfill your vision if you don't have those. And it's impacting the ability of your members to be fully engaged if they don't feel like they have what they need.
So we recommend, whatever the challenge is, we recommend that people look for and recognize the solution, right? So if it's to double the size of the group, how do we do that? What are the type of people we're looking for? We're looking for givers. We're looking for people that are bright, early risers, like Dr. Yoder here. And then once you have that list of kind of who you're looking for, where to look for them, get members engaged and have them get those tools and those resources for you to get everybody to strongly agree. Got it. Know what's expected of me, have the tools I need to do my job.
And so the way that Gallup has formulated these questions, and we're only doing like 5 of them today, there's actually 12 that they've researched over the last 25 years. These are the 2 foundational requirements for full engagement. So if you don't have strongly agrees on both of these, that's where you need your attention to be first. Because it's like, I can't ask, my baby to walk before it can even roll over, right? So that's what this is. All right. You want to read that?
All right. In Rotary, I have the opportunity to do what I do best every day.
Yeah, because it rounds up.
We're at 101%.
So with this one, doing what you do best every day, the reason that Crystal and I shared what our strengths were at the beginning is because that dictates, for me, it's a guide, it's a compass for me to know that every day the activities that I engage in, if they are accessing those 5 top strengths of mine, I'm doing what I do best naturally every day. So one of the things that we would encourage you as a team to do is to, one, ensure that everybody that's a member of this club knows exactly what their strengths are. Because you all have different ones, and the odds of you having the same set of strengths as somebody else is like 1 in 33 billion or something like that. And this is, again, based on Gallup's research. But if you're not accessing that, you're not feeling fulfilled. You know, I've talked with a lot of people over the years of my work as a clinical psychologist, and there's people say there's something missing, and usually it's because they don't have an outlet to do what they were naturally born and created to do. And each of you has a desired and necessary gift to offer this club, so your job, one, is to discover what that is.
How many of you have had employees? A few of you, right? How many of you felt like you had this great square peg that you kept trying to fit in this round hole? Right?
Right.
I promise you, it's not that they're bad employees. People by nature want to do good. We want to do good work, right? It's just not my strength. I was in a sales role my whole life. I was great at it because I could be significant. I could save you $100,000 and little Bobby could go to college, and it's big picture. And here's a plan, and let's go. But then they put me in an office to do paperwork. Guess what Crystal always got in trouble for? Her paperwork, right? It wasn't that I wasn't a great employee. It's not my strengths. It's not what I'm good at. It's not what I naturally love. But they kept trying to put me there. Guess what happened? I quit. They lost their #1 producer in the entire world for that company. I quit. That's the significance of doing what you love to do every single day.
All right. Go ahead, Chris.
At Rotary, my opinions seem to count. Everybody's hesitant. I don't know.
There's no fear to these numbers.
Oh, yes, there it is. Everybody's got their phone under the table right now.
She's up here like,
I promise you, this is all we see.
Barbara's hacking into our phone.
I've entered 2 or 3 times here. I'm not.
You know what's interesting, and we see this sometimes with, or a lot of times with organizations. If that baseline foundation, I don't know what's expected of me, and I don't quite have the tools to do what I need to do in my organization, the gap gets a little further as we go along, right? It goes back to that basic foundation. What's expected of me, and I have the tools to do my job.
so this one's interesting. A lot of times people say, I've heard people say, I've said it, I've been guilty of saying it myself, but people are adults. They have something to say, they should just say it. And I'm also a psychologist, so I know that they won't say it. Sometimes, people can say, but my door's always open, and you can always come in, you can tell me anything, right? But people don't do it. Why? Why are people afraid to share their opinions?
Because they're afraid you're going to get fired.
Because there could be detrimental consequences.
Well, because for me, there were.
Correct.
There.
Lack of trust, that's right. And that's a foundational element in any team environment. If there's not trust, then you can't experience a sense of equity, and then why would my opinions count? So we would encourage you guys to develop creative ways, and it might be through anonymous surveys like this. SurveyMonkey, by the way, is great for anonymous surveys. If you want to survey all the members of your team and get some honest, candid feedback, that's a great tool to use. All right.
My fellow Rotarians are committed to doing, what word do we say, quality work.
So this is about what do I think about my fellow Rotarians? Do I think that they are equally as committed as I am?
Barbara, put your phone down.
Here, use mine.
Because, so I'm going to put it in the work context for a second. So when I started my residency, and I won't tell you where that was, but I had the same job, the same level of pay, the same responsibilities as 4 other residents. The other residents, however, three of the other ones, consistently were late, consistently did not accomplish the duties that they were tasked with, consistently showed a lack of commitment. And we all still got paid the same. There were no repercussions for anyone. So I experienced a sense of inequity. So similarly in a club like this, inequity can happen when the same people are volunteering all the time, when the same people are spearheading committees, and there can come with that a sense of resentment, which may not be verbally expressed, but is certainly lingering in the background. So we would encourage you guys to ensure, going back to, if you focus on what your strengths are and what you have specifically to offer to this group that nobody else in the group can offer, you're going to have more engagement. You're going to have more equity.
Yeah, what I would add to that is, you don't have to raise your hands, and we're not going to ask you on the poll, but has anybody ever been to a drive-through and said, well, anybody can do this job? Good Lord, it's been 20 minutes. This is a drive-through, not park, right? It takes a certain set of strengths to do that. So while some people, and I've been guilty, have thought, oh my gosh, what does it take to do this job? And I'm frustrated with that person. It takes a certain skill set. I couldn't do it. You put me in the drive-thru at a fast food restaurant, you probably fire me, right? It's just not my natural strength. So it's perception of quality of work. So if you can uncover a strength and say, my strength is to make the best, fastest hamburger in the world, and I understand that, my quality or my perception of your quality of work is probably going to be different, because now I get it. I understand that's your strength. Some people say, what do you file papers? Anybody can do that. I clearly was not good at it, right? But perception could be, oh, she sits in an office and staples paperwork all day. She doesn't do quality work. Crystal's out running around making deals. But as we began to understand that was her strength, this was my strength, what a powerful team we've been.
All right, and this is the last one. In the last 6 months, someone at Rotary has talked to me about my progress as a Rotarian.
Remember that gap? Those foundation needs aren't met. I told you the gap usually gets a little wider.
Yeah.
Why do you think this question is important?
I think that's about retention.
Yeah.
Retention? Retention?
Happiness as a Rotarian.
Yes.
Right.
He said happiness as a Rotarian.
Warning against that.
Yes.
So if you think about
Warning
it,
against replacing.
yeah, if you're talking about my progress and what I'm doing well and where my strengths are and where I can serve and how I can be engaged, my opinions matter. You're going to uncover what my strengths are, right? I'm going to be more engaged. We got a little work to do here.
And whether, I mean, you guys can determine as a club whose responsibility that is. Typically, you can say, well, it's everybody's responsibility, right? But group psychology says that when you say it's everybody's, nobody does it, right? So you might want to identify 1 or 2 people, whether that's the sponsor, the person who sponsored the new Rotarian, and for those of you that have been in Rotary for years and years and years, you might want to seek out a new member. You might want to seek out a fresh perspective. I'll tell you, when I joined Rotary 3 or 4 years ago, and I still feel like I'm a Rotarian at heart. I just couldn't commit to the time demands at that time.
I got a deal for you.
I'm on it, Lee.
He's on it.
You just said you were an early morning person.
I am.
And the non-morning person is on it.
I mean, I prefer to meet at 5, but I don't know if I can bring any of you. But when I did that, I didn't even know what Rotary was. I kind of had an idea. But I said, I want to do a project that tells other people what Rotary is, because if I don't know, and I'm kind of a smart girl, if I don't know, there's a lot of people in this community that have no idea. And so we said, well, let's put together a float and let's say all of the things that we've done. Well, we did that, but I'm not sure how effective that was. But the point is that I had a fresh perspective as a new member. That some of the people that had been in the club for many, many years no longer had, because when you're doing something all the time, you just know. And you kind of assume that everybody else knows. So that's why it might be important for your progress, for those of you who have been in the group longer, not only to mentor, but to be mentored by a fresher perspective.
Okay, so we would love to hear your biggest takeaway from today. Maybe kind of that aha moment, that thing that you go, got it.
Last question.
The last question.
Yeah, because it really says, as we were talking here, it really talks about retention,
Yes.
engagement, and productivity.
Productivity, right.
And we don't do a good job, and it's certainly back around. And that's the aha for me.
Great.
Great.
Thank you.
What else?
I think it might allow us to better focus on the members that are not as engaged as they might be, or we think they might be.
Sure.
And there might be other reasons there. It might not just be.
Maybe I don't know what's expected of me. Maybe I don't have the job. Maybe nobody's talked to me about my progress.
You may better understand also, when you talk about getting people to volunteer for the different things that we do, if they're not feeling confident that they can do that, because it's not their strength.
Yes.
Right.
We may be able to identify.
Right.
Yes.
Excellent point.
Yes.
Michael?
I'm simple. I just was happy to see my good friend Sherry